for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I've cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. You told me love was too plebeian. You told me you were through with me. And now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I've cried a river over you. Come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I've cried a river over you.
Welcome to DSM's Black Art Matter series. We're here today with Cherish Love Robinson, who is a Dallas-based actress. Welcome, Cherish.
Thank you.
So how are you doing today?
I'm well, so happy to be here.
Good, good.
How
Glad
about
to have
yourself?
you. Same. No complaints so far.
Good.
So we're going to jump right in here.
Sure.
With the first question. The series is called Black Art Matters, and we love to hear from those that we are interviewing, what does Black identity mean to and for you?
Well, first, I think you have to be Black and or African American to feel some type of identity to that. I think it's whatever you make it after that. It's your culture, it's your family, it's your religion, it's you, it's air, it's water, it's life, it's energy. It's all of those things that really make you. It makes your identity. So yeah, I really believe that you got to be Black first.
So for you specifically, do you find the concept of Black identity changing, ever changing, or is it pretty constant for you?
Well, I think it changes because of who the person is. Like if they, there's so many ways about it. There's a Black identity being biracial. There's a Black identity being from solely Africa, which is Black, or however they want to identify themselves. So it can be ever changing that way. And I also think it changes because people change. People change every day, and so it really depends on how they manifest that change, what it looks like to them.
So carrying that kind of Black identity over to being a Black artist, do you find that just naturally being a Black person influences your artistry as well?
Absolutely. I think being Black has shaped me in so many ways. Sometimes we often think that Black starts with a struggle. And that's a part of our history, but it's not the start of it. And so what I do see from the struggle, if you will, is the tenacity in us, the fight, the resilience in our people. And it's kind of shaped me to think about my art and how I want to move and how I want to give that away to people. 'Cause it's first off, art in and of itself is scary. It's scary to give something that you've worked so hard for away to people, and to let people judge it, and to let people dissect it. So adding the Black element into the equation can almost, it can take it to another level that is scary just the same. So it's, for me, it's shaped me. Yeah. It's helped me create. It's helped me see who we are as a people, and it motivates me too. Yeah. It really motivates me.
So that idea of, allowing people to judge your art, and the added element of you being a Black artist and them judging that, have you found that in your career, being Black has increased scrutiny on how your art is viewed or judged or even appreciated?
Yes and no. I often think that the way that people judge it is, it's not on purpose. They don't judge it on purpose, the Black part of it. Case in point, I'm not going to say exactly what I'm doing, but I'm in a space where they wanted me to sing. And so when I sang a jazz song, because jazz is one of my favorite genres to sing. And after I got through with the jazz song, they said, "Oh, I thought you were going to do that song that I heard you sing." And they were referring to Sing Me and Sister Act. So they wanted to see the woo. They wanted to see the sister girl, and not me and my element, me and my truest element. And so I think it's judged like that, not on purpose, but what they have seen on stage, and not necessarily... not necessarily me. They've never seen me. They've seen me play something. But when it comes to my music, it's a little bit different. So, yeah, I think they judge me.
Yeah.
And then they can judge me not on purpose. Yeah.
That concept of the you as you, and then you playing something on stage, do those often get cross-contaminated in your work and in your life?
Okay, so this is my favorite question. No one has ever asked me this before, but it's my favorite question to ask myself and to answer myself. I'm actually in the middle of writing a book, and one of the big things that I learned a long time ago is that who I am and what I do are two totally different things. And so when they merge, it's because I let it merge. But I know to keep this over here, to keep this over there. And when I want them to merge, it can. Because I know. But a lot of people don't see their art like that. They see who they are as what they do, and the only thing that they do. And sometimes I think it's a dangerous place to be, because you can be so wrapped up into everything that you do that if that gets compromised somehow, then you think your whole world is over. Yeah. But it's not, because I am not just what I do. Right. I'm more. Cherish is more than a singer. Cherish is more than a pianist. She's more than a songwriter, producer, what and the other. I'm more than that. I'm a person. Right. I'm loyal. I'm a friend. I'm someone's daughter. I'm someone's sister. I'm a lot of things. So merging those two worlds, they can be a little bit hard, but I kind of got a nice balance on that. So
the separation of the two, was that a lesson you had to learn, or was that always something that was ingrained that you knew needed to be two different things?
I think it was the universe telling me to learn this lesson. It really was. I took this leadership conference. I went to a leadership conference, and the young woman who was leading the session, she said, "All right, everyone, I want you to write down who you are." And of course, I go to writing and I say, I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I am, a poet. I am whatever. And then she said, so everyone kind of tell me what you wrote. And everyone had what they did. And then she was like, so those things are not who you are. Those are what you do. And it really dawned on me like, oh wow, I've been correlating my identity to everything I do. And I don't like that. Yeah. And I got to find out how not to do that anymore because I want to know who I am. Because again, if it gets compromised by any way, if what I do gets compromised where I can't do it anymore, if I lose the activity of my limbs and I'm no longer able to play the piano, I'm no longer able to be a singer and stand up in front of a crowd, I got to know that I'm still Cherish.
Right. I love that. That's yes. So I want to switch gears here a little bit because you are a very well accomplished performer, both here in Dallas, regionally, even nationally. And so with that, you've been in many audition rooms. Can you talk about the experience of being a Black artist in the audition room in a industry that is historically underrepresented on the other side of the table?
I have many stories, about that. Though the majority good. The majority of those stories come from a really great place because, once again, I know not only who I am, but who I am in my art. And so I can give them a clear depiction of what I want to present and not something that they think that I think that they know what I want and they know what it's not muddled. You know what I mean? It's not something that's left for interpretation. I love singing all styles, and I don't believe that I have to walk into a room every time and sing the Black girl song, which those are great. Those are great numbers. I have nothing against them, but I sing everything. I do. And I want people to know that. And I want people to know that this is what I do. So when I go into audition rooms, I have some different things prepared. Now they are in the style of me. And because I can tailor them that way. And then not only can I make them to my personality, but I fit it to the show. I love auditions because it really lets me show who I am as an artist. And that's what people are ultimately looking for. They're ultimately looking for people who can create art, who they don't have to say, here's what I want, and then that person regurgitate it. It's for some people to really create it, to really show who they are as an artist. And so I think in the auditions, that's what I like to bring. That's what I love to bring to the table. So I have definitely seen where someone wants me to sing the Black girl song. Depending on what the role I went in for, sometimes it is necessary. But not all the time am I going in with, a soft ballad from some musical that is normally for a blonde.
A Sondheim musical.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going into, with a Sondheim song for Sister Act. So, I know, I kind of know how to pick them, but there are times when I have definitely seen, but I'm very vocal. I'm insanely vocal
and that's
about.
what I wanted to ask you, because I've interviewed several performers on this series who have talked about their experiences of being put into a box, and that box is contains certain stereotypes of Black performers, specifically for Black women, and how they kind of confront that.
Yeah.
You saying you're vocal about it. What is that like, that pushback that you do?
So I let them know. I let them know that I just did a show back in February, and in December they asked us, okay, so what kind of songs are you looking for? Because we got to do any song that we wanted to do within reason, and so I gave them a list of things. And when we had a meeting, I told them, listen, I will sing any and everything, but do not give me the 11 o'clock black girl number just because I'm the only black girl here.
Right.
We can do other things. We can sing other things. We can dance other things. I don't have to do hip hop. I don't have to give you the sass, which is a very triggering word for me in this business. I don't have to give you sass. I don't have to give you the hand on the hip. A friend of mine calls it the acting school of
That's a
Yeah.
great way to put that, actually.
where you get that stereotype of the woman that, and listen, I am not by any means disregarding who that woman is, because that woman really, let's be honest, that woman won an Academy Award. Hattie McDaniel, she won an Academy Award for doing something that we tend to look down on nowadays. But she needed to do those things so that we could be her wildest dream.
Right.
And those things I really, and then that was a long time ago too. So I again, I want to be those people's wildest dreams. I want them to see me singing everything and to see me in the same class as other people. And I think this is such a great time right now where people are on these different type of platforms. And just because you don't look the part, you can still go for this part. And that's what it's all about. It really is. Because all of these musicals are fantasy anyways. The majority of these are fantasy musicals anyways. So we need to see everybody up there. It's time. It's time. And I think the atmosphere is really changing. The climate is changing around this. To kind of piggyback on your question in the last go round, where you were talking about the question before this one, have I encountered pushback? I won't say that as an actor. I haven't really encountered that, but I will say, as a music director, I'm always given a lot of black shows.
Yeah.
I'm always given a lot of black shows because people think that that's what I can do.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for them, and I absolutely love them. But
You're more than that.
I'm
You
there's
can do
everything
more than that,
There,
yeah.
I can do more than
Yeah.
that, and it's not. It's just we got to get to a place to where we're questioning everything. We got to get to a place to where we're questioning, why am I only giving her these musicals?
Right.
And her white counterparts, why am I letting them do it all? We've got to get to that place because, and to be one of the few African American music directors here in Dallas is, I get it a lot.
So to piggyback off of all of that, it's no secret that our industry has an issue with race. And I think anyone who works specifically in the Dallas theater scene also can see that very clearly, that even our own city and our theatrical scene has an issue with race. Do you think in this time, even though that we're in a pandemic and there's these increased calls for social justice and racial justice, that there will be progress made? I mean, I would think we all hope, but realistically, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I pray every day for that. I have conversations with a good friend of mine who is also an actor, and we talk about these things. This is one of the things that we talk about is we just want to be seen.
Yeah.
And we want to be seen everywhere and not just, again, the black shows. We want to be seen there too. And the catch-22 is we go to those places because we go to act in those spaces where they're only giving light for a black artist. We go to those places because those roles are there's complexities in those roles. There is an energy that I can bring that isn't just the best friend.
Right.
There is again complexities in those roles. So we just want to be seen, and I think we are in a time right now where people are, as the kids say, they're becoming woke. they're becoming, they're awakening to this, and I hate to say movement, but they're awakening to actual empathy, to actual people who have been hurting and who haven't been seen by anyone and who just want to sing, who just want to dance, who just want to be afforded the chance to be in the Sondheim musical without saying, oh, this would be good for diversity or inclusivity. This would be a great. We just want to be regarded as human beings,
Right.
who actually are in this business, and are professionals. Yeah. We take it seriously. I can't even begin to tell you how much money I have spent on the cultivation of my career to be relegated rather to just the black girl or just the black girl who's a music director who can do this black musical because we don't want to do it.
Right.
Or I'll take it a step further, who's relegated to this black musical that we need to put in the season so that we can say that we are a diverse
We can pretend to
people.
be diverse, yeah.
Yeah, we can say that we are a diverse people, but we won't put a lot in it.
Right.
We won't put a lot of money behind it. We won't put a lot of action behind it. We're going to give them the bare minimum because we just need it in the season.
Right.
And I've been in those places too, and it's not fun. It's not fun to see. It doesn't feel good. Yeah. It doesn't feel good to see that I get the bare minimum and I have to really go the extra mile to make something, what my grandmother said, make $1 out of 15 cents.
Yeah. And I think what we have found through this series too is that people think that black artists can't see through that. What do you say to those people who think that?
That they can't see through
the
fakeness, if you will?
We can't see through the fakeness.
Oh, we've been able to see it, but again, we also want to be seen. And we also need to work everywhere else. And we find ourselves, and I'm saying we, because thank God I have been afforded in my career to do other things. Like a lot of times I don't even, by the grace of God, I don't even have to audition in a lot of places anymore. People have been calling me, and that is just an absolute blessing for me. But a lot of people don't get that chance.
Right.
A lot of people have to really work and toil the soil, if you will, and into their careers. And not only just in Dallas. This is everywhere else. Yeah. And so I say to them, you have got to look at the bigger picture. It's not about you. It never has been about you. And the gag of it all is, it's never been about me either. It's about the story. It's about what we're trying to put out there. Because even as fantasy as the musicals that we're in, they highlight something. There's something that you walk away with. Even if it's the person just getting out of their own world into this magical world for 2+ hours. Even if that is just it. We are creators of it. We all are creators of it. And we all have to be given that chance, and we have to be given that chance equally.
Yeah. Cherish, you have shared so much great insight with us today. I'm so thankful to have you on.
Oh, thank you.
I have one final question to wrap us up here, and that is, as we emerge through this abnormal time that we're in right now, hopefully, fingers crossed, sooner than later, moving back to some sense of normalcy, what words do you have to specifically the Dallas theater community to ensure that equitability is actually reached after this or pushed forward more after this?
I think they need to open conversations up with artists that they probably have never heard. And this is a tricky one. This is because this is a loaded question. You thought the other questions were loaded. This one is a loaded question because let me X that. Let me X what I just said. There are many things. There are many things that they can be doing. one of them is actually doing something. And I don't see a lot of doing something. I see a lot of, let me give you this so you can shut up.
Yeah.
Maybe not as harsh.
But in essence, yes.
You know, in essence, yeah, like I just see a lot of that. I want them to get to a place to where Black people aren't afraid to show up, because we also say, you got to give us shows that we think that you're going to highlight us in, you know, and it's not just, we want to know that we can get into the Sondheim musical. We want to know that we can get into this
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
I don't know why I'm going blank, because I listen to all of these musicals, but we want to know that we can get it. We have that space, that people are holding space for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to know that. And if you tell us, because I think people aren't showing up because they just know.
Yeah.
They know and they feel it. I can feel when somebody doesn't like me, and so when I know if you don't like me, then I know not to mess with you. I know not to be in your space. I know I don't want you in mine. And I think that's where we are. And if you really want to bridge that gap, they've got to show everyone. They've got to take the initiative. They have to take the initiative, or else it won't get done.
I love that. Not seeing a lot of doing. We need to see more doing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Cherish, you have been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk to you today. I could talk to you for 3 more hours on all of these things.
Call me.
Oh, yes, for sure. Thank you for sharing your voice and for lending your voice to this series. It's so important for us, and the goal is that we take everything that you say not only to affect change in our community as a whole, but also in our own organization. So thank you for today and for sharing. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.